Hello again and welcome to Reason and Truth Ministries. We are continuing this week with our teaching on Kodesh. Right, last week, remember, we started off on Kodesh, and we are coming from, what's the scripture we're coming from? We're coming from Leviticus 20:26. But last week when I read 20:26, I read 19:2 and was referring to 20:26. So forgive me on the tape. So when you're looking at it, this is 19, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 2. However, I was quoting from my resources that I had in front of me in reference to what I read on here. However, it carries the same emphasis on what I needed to communicate in Kodeshim and Kodesh. However, the main emphasis, what we were focusing on, is how Kodesh is mentioned without the Wav and with the Wav. Okay, remember last week we talked about how and this is 2. This is the second verse. But from here, this is where it starts from. Devar, right? Or Debar. Debar means, he said, who said? Yahweh. You see, Debar, El means two, Kal means all, Yedet Benin, right, to the congregation of the people or children or sons of Israel, right? And each word in itself, and this is how Hebrew is actually read. Va amatz, and say to, this is female, right? Female plural to all, so it carrying over with the same Israel, more than one. Elohim, meaning all the forces that are necessary for creating all of humankind and all that which sustain mankind or keep mankind alive. Kodeshim, which the im again, it speaks about plural, so it has its grammatical consistency to show what the author literally means and what he's communicating. Teheyo ki Kodesh, for holy, with the Kodesh, with the Wav, any, meaning I, which is Yahweh, Yahweh Elohim. For Yahweh Elohim, meaning plural, is holy. And what we emphasized on last week is the Kodesh and Kodesh. This Kodesh don't have the Wav. And when the Kodesh don't have the Wav, what we say it is? Hashek. Right? Hashek, that means it what? It's lacking. It's lacking something. It's lacking something. This, and who is lacking? This is all of Israel, or this is all of humankind. And if you go into Leviticus 20 and verse 26, you will see that word. You will see these two words. These two words are going to be written like, it's going to be written like this: Kodesh it's going to be like that. Kodesh. All right? It's going to be like this. Kodesh and Kodesh. and when you look at this word here, and he says now, be ye holy, for I am holy. Be ye holy. Who's to be holy? All of us ought to be holy. And last week when we were speaking about how it goes to the individual. It's a command to the individual to be holy. Now, this word here, kodosh, it's what we say is melah. And melah means full. It means complete. When something is melah, melah is the Hebrew word for full. It's complete. It has all that which is necessary. Okay? All that which is necessary. And remember, in some of our early teaching, we know that could Yahweh function?
No.
Why he can't function?
Because he is.
Because he is. And anything that function mean it has a point of what? Beginning. That which begin has to have a form of what? Operation of functionality. Can that which is have any function or development?
No.
Why not?
Because he is.
He is. And one thing, why that which don't has any beginning can't have any function or development. Why is that? Because it's out of time. Outside of time. Anything within time, it needs to have changes. It needs to have progression. It needs to grow. Every single thing that began to exist needs to what? To grow. And grow demands change. Development. Good? So we see now Yahweh is telling the children of Israel to be what? Holy, for he is holy. That Greek word, what is that Greek word? Let's turn to, if somebody could find Mark 1:24 for me. Mark 1:24. And when we see that word, holy, right? Holy, holy one. And that is a title in itself. Who that title is ascribed to? Holy One.
Yahweh Christ.
Yeshua Mashiach. The Holy One of Israel. Right? The Holy One shall come. And the Holy One shall come and bring that which is necessary for the children of Israel to be what? Reconciled back unto the Father. Somebody found that for me?
Yeah.
I don't even have my scripture with me.
1 verse 24.
Yes. Read it.
Saying, let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of God.
Okay. Who thou art. He is the what?
Holy One.
Holy One of God. So now who you are speaking to there? Who responded there to Yeshua?
An unclean spirit.
An unclean spirit. Right? He said, what have we to do with thee? Right? So it's showing you there that the demons, they know who the Holy One is. So now he said, when he went on high, he led captivity captive. Right? And he gave unto us what? He gave unto us this holiness. Now this holiness, could we obtain this holiness? Could we do anything to earn this holiness? What we have to do to get this holiness?
Come under the authority of Yeshua Mashiach.
Come under the authority of Yeshua Mashiach. Now you say authority. Authority is a rather strong word. I want a different word.
Come into agreement.
Come into agreement. That's a more powerful word than under the authority. When you hear the word authority, what do you think about?
No relationship.
Say that again?
No relationship.
No relationship. Yeah, authority really doesn't accredit any type of relationship. Because when you hear authority, do I need to have a relationship with you in order for me to exercise my authority?
No.
So when you hear the word authority, it kind of limits any type of what? Relationship. It just speaks about what?
Right.
Orders. What he said? It speaks about order. It speaks about control. It speaks about manipulation. It speaks about just directive. It just speaks about, you hear, all you got to do is what? Obey. So all these words, authority, obey, obedience, all these words has its influence and its origin in what? In what worldview or world structure those words has their formulation in. Yeah, but it's a worldview in the 1800s when we had the Enlightenment, and this philosopher, he came about with this.
One word.
Is a philosopher that is very prominent in our school, and every child that go to school. No, not Plato. Plato was in the 500 BC. We talk about 1800. Somebody really prominent, and when they're talking about biology, they're speaking about, what is that?
Darwin.
That's right, Charles Darwin. And this Darwinian construct is where you call the what? The strongest survive. So you see now, every time in world history, it has its strength and it's relevant to scripture and how scripture tend to actually take on this sort of sight as the controlling figures or the authorities at that particular point in time will tend to